Here, moved to Texas from Maryland, literally just about 6-7 weeks ago for the position. I've been in home care for about 3 years. Like I said, prior to that was emergency medicine. The last emergency department I worked in was the University of Maryland, adult pediatric and trauma. So I feel like I bring a lot to the table, and obviously more. I can do. Sorry, being before the camera. I can do more so with your guys' help. One, I truly do thank you for showing up. Yeah, you can get rid of the whole mandatory thing, I get it, but still, it's not like I can come and bash your house and just load you up in a van. You still have to come here. So I really do appreciate it. What we're going to go over tonight is documentation. In my first couple of weeks here, that just simply was the glaring thing that we need help with. And like I said, there's going to be a frank, open forum. You guys can ask me questions, obviously, and if I can't answer them, and my colleagues can. But the whole purpose of this is just to improve. 100% anything that I say, like later on in this presentation, I know 100% you're truly to care. That's grossly evidence by the positive feedback we've gotten back from your patients, your families. It's just an old nursing adage, if it's not documented, it's not done. And we need to make sure that you're putting the hard work that you're doing on paper. All right? We'll get started. So the things that we're going to go over, this is pretty much not the do and know. This is pretty much every bit of MGA documentation that you have to complete. Your major 3 of bread and butter, the initial shift assessment, time card, the Q2-hour progress note, the narrative note, or no matter what patient that you have with MGA, those are the 3 elements. Depending on what your kiddo has, med flow sheet, seizure record, equipment cleaning log, most likely you'll come across. Obviously the physician's order form, the MARS, of course, and infection control report. There is 2 other bits of documentation as far as the client-patient, like incident report. We're not going to spend a lot of time on that because those are, those are very straightforward. We can talk about those a lot if you have questions. General do's and don'ts for documentation, period. Everything that's up here, obviously, if it's up here, obviously we have people not doing it. So, but it's just kind of goes with the given. Turning your documentation on time. One, it's your time card. One, everybody wants to get paid on time. And then, to be honest with you, if it's not turned in correctly or on time, then we are out of compliance. If we're not in compliance and we don't get our medical records filed timely, that we have to trace it back to somebody. If it's truly you not turning your documentation either in by Sunday night, by 7 o'clock, or in the office by noon, then you're simply out of compliance. And like I said, done the job, I know truly what you're going through, but in all reality, let's just be honest with ourselves, there's little to no excuse that you can't get your documentation. There are drop boxes all over the place. I usually get into the office by like 7:30, 7:45, you can swing past and it's not to me. There's no reason for that to be done. We just need to see a little bit better with that. You guys want to get paid on time, or you want to be compliant with that. Don'ts. It's kind of crazy, but like we've seen a lot of documentations. Obviously, the biggest shift that you guys do is 7 to 7, right? So when the time ends, people just put 7. They don't tell me 7 p.m. They don't tell me 7 a.m. They're not putting 0700. They're not putting 1900. They're just putting 7. I don't know when you're working. I just need to know when you're working. That's it. So either use military time, which is my favorite. There's no ambiguity. There's no question of when you're working. It's easy. Or if you are, just stuck on using that, that's fine. But just put AM, PM. So it just bears saying, just because we don't want to call from our QA, officer like Josue or Cody or I, or at least just saying when did you work. It's a silly problem to have. Okay, any questions on that? All right, so this is what we're going to spend the most time on, the initial shift assessment. That's what it looks like. You all know and love it. Does anybody know how many sections this document has? So just in case you don't know, when you look at these notes, and your notes are QA'd, and before I go further, I know in the past it hasn't been as rigorous as maybe you're accustomed to in the hospital or in other agencies. We're working to improve that. So now we're looking at everything with a fine-tooth comb. I don't say that to scare anyone, it's just we have to improve. Here, we have to improve internally, and by so, if you guys improve in here. So the note here, to really break it down and what we look at individually, are 15 different things. Really, if you go through the bulk of the notes you do, it's about 18 different. We'll look at each one individually to one, make sure it's right, make sure it's accurate, make sure it's legible, and make sure it follows the 485. No matter what letters you have after your name, LPN, LPN, RN, you're bound by that piece of paper, the 485 in the home. Your scope of practice, your licensure, dictate that you follow that 485. if you're documenting something on here that isn't in that 485, the supervisor needs to be notified. So if you're documenting vital signs that are outside of parameters, or on the 485 it says a child may really have a lymphoma, whatever the case is, you need to notify your clinical case manager, okay? But if you're truly not looking at your 485 every single shift and making sure your documentation follows this, we're not compliant. So we're going to do a better job of revising our 485s. I'll tell you now, you're probably going to see a lot of 3 or 4 page 485 turn into 5, 6, maybe 7 page 485s. All it is just more detail. We're not adding necessarily more orders, but we're adding more detail so that when you're in the home, there's just less questions. Here, you won't have to wonder, when am I supposed to get time off for this, or what's the proper, way to change the trend. You'll just have those orders right in front of you. Okay? This you should have in your packet. Does everybody have a packet? It's only like 4 pages. Everybody have one? Okay, great. This is in there. Those packets, feel free to take. You can laminate them. You can shrink them out there. They're non-specific patient information, but they're used as guides for you in the home. So if you want to keep it in your nursing clipboard, keep it in your car, what have you, you don't have to worry about compliance. It's not actual patient information. But as much as no note is 100% complete, this is about as accurate that we can make it. Okay? So we're just going to dive into each one. So we're going to dive into each section first. Basic stuff, no matter how good your documentation is, if I don't have the correct patient name and the correct HIC number and the correct date of birth, you might as well not even apply. Okay? And the only reason we highlight this is because we see a little bit of everything. We see incorrect spelling of names. We see nicknames for patients, which is just ridiculous. I just need the patient's God-given name that's on the 485. That's all I'm asking. All right? Vital signs. It's pretty easy. We understand that a lot of the kiddos, especially don't have blood pressure taken, that's fine. You just simply have to either just do a line through it or put the curve. Okay?
The 485 is
correct. Yes, I'm sorry. 485 is actually the official name for it. From coast to coast, and every home care agency from California to Maryland. Yes, the plan. And then, of course, blood sugar if it's applicable for the child. Any vital sign that you're putting here that is outside of the parameters on that care plan on 45, you need to just notify your clinical case manager. Okay, notify the office. If it's after hours and it's an emergency, the patient's like 100 fever, what have you, you can always reach us. And if you don't have the clinical on-call number, we'll make sure you have it before you leave. I'll email it out, whatever you need that you know to reach us. Okay. Next part, musculoskeletal. Typically, all of our kids will have something that fits into here. For whatever reason they don't, it's just no deficit, that's fine. But when 100% of your documentation is routine to indicate here, pre-position every 2 hours, pre-position Q2. If your patient can move on their own, that's great, that's fine. We want mobility. It needs to be reflected in your narrative. Okay? Cardiovascular. Some of our patients have cardiomyopathy. We expect you to do a full cardiac assessment of your patient when you initially assess them. It just becomes related to. And even though allergies are stated on the 485, you indicating them here is acknowledging to the world that you know your child's allergies, you can intervene if they come across one of their allergies. It still needs to be stated on your documentation. Virtually, I think it's 95% of our patient load has some type of respiratory deficiency. So these, especially, I want all of this filled out. But there's no way I should ever see blanks here or in respiratory care and even with the ventilator. I understand we have separate ventilator flow sheets, but you're still indicating the hours and days a week that the child's on the ventilator, and then obviously, the alarms we're checking just your basics. So these should just be filled out in there entirely.
And if your patient doesn't have a trach or a vent, uses NA boxes, just make sure you mark those. If your patient's like just a G-tube kiddo.
Absolutely. There's really no reason for any of the boxes to be completely different. Any questions on the first half? Yes.
If your patient has a vent but is just on standby?
Still need to indicate, and then you can indicate that here, and then mark, and then just write like what type of vent they're on, and when they're supposed to be on.
You still have to write the vent?
Yeah, you still have to check them. Unless the ventilator order is completely discontinued and they're no longer needed. But if the possibility can arise at some point during your shift, you're going to put them on a vent, you have to check the orders. You have to check to make sure it's operable, right?
Yeah, but
No, as CCF system, I want to talk it out. If there does the possibility arise that you would have to put your child on a ventilator?
I used it for several months.
Okay, but could it happen?
I guess anything could happen, but
Right. So unless that ventilator is completely discontinued and the possibility of it happening, you have to check to make sure it works.
even if they're discharged from vent clinic,
Do they still have an order for the ventilator? To be used in case of an emergency or anything of that nature?
I don't
No, I'm asking, do they have an order for it?
know. His original order,
Okay, so unless that order is discontinued, you said. Then you check this out. It won't have a requirement for checking the oxygen. No, it won't